Here is a question that exposes something uncomfortable about the beauty industry. How is it possible that a $3 oil, one with legitimate peer-reviewed research behind it, has never once appeared in a product launch, a clinical advertisement, or a beauty counter recommendation for under-eye bags? The answer is not that it cures everything. It does not. Under-eye bags and dark circles are more complex than any single product can fully resolve, and anyone who tells you otherwise is selling something. But there is a specific subset of what creates eye bags, a subset that involves vascular fragility, lymphatic flow, and skin-level pigmentation, where this oil has documented, measurable effects that a $90 department store cream does not. Understanding which part of the problem this oil addresses and which part it does not is actually more valuable than any overpromise, because when you understand the real biology of what is happening beneath your eyes, you will also understand exactly why the industry has preferred you never learn to ask the right questions. That is what this video is about. Stay with me, because the most important insight arrives around minute 7. And it changes how you will look at every beauty product you have ever purchased. Before anything about this oil makes sense, we need to be honest about something the beauty industry consistently refuses to say clearly. Under-eye bags and dark circles are not one problem. They are a cluster of distinct biological conditions that can look identical in the mirror, and they require entirely different approaches. Cause 1. Skin pigmentation. In many individuals, the darkness beneath the eyes is primarily melanin-based, the same pigment that creates tan skin or age spots. This form of dark circle is most common in people with naturally deeper skin tones and is largely genetic in origin. It is a surface pigmentation issue, and it responds best to ingredients that address melanin production: koic acid, vitamin C, niacinamide. Topical oils, including elderberry seed oil, have limited effect on melanin-based discoloration. Cause 2. Vascular congestion. This is where the story gets more specific. In some individuals, the darkness beneath the eyes is not pigment. It is the bluish-purple color of congested blood vessels visible through thin skin. When the tiny capillaries beneath the under-eye skin are fragile or dilated, they allow hemoglobin to leak into the surrounding tissue. That hemoglobin breaks down into hemosiderin, an iron-rich compound that creates a brownish-blue stain within the skin itself. This cause is vascular and inflammatory in origin, and it is distinct from genetic pigmentation. It is specifically this mechanism that elderberry seed oil's flavonoid content addresses. Cause 3. Skin thinning. The skin beneath the eye is the thinnest on the human face, approximately 0.5 millimeters compared to 2 millimeters elsewhere. As we age and collagen production declines, this skin becomes increasingly translucent. Whatever lies beneath, blood vessels, fat, shadow, becomes more visible. Thinning skin worsens the appearance of every other cause. And here I want to be precise. Applying an oil to the skin does not rebuild collagen. Collagen synthesis requires cellular stimulation through retinol, through peptide-based actives, or through medical procedures. What a well-formulated oil can do is support the skin barrier, reduce transepidermal water loss, and create conditions where the existing skin functions better. Cause 4. Fat pad protrusion, what most people call an eye bag. The rounded protrusion beneath the lower eyelid is a fat pad that has shifted forward. The fat pads of the lower eyelid are held in position by a structure called the orbital septum, a membrane that weakens with age and is also significantly influenced by genetics. When the septum weakens, the fat migrates forward. No topical product of any kind permanently reverses this. It is a structural issue. Some eye creams reduce the appearance temporarily through caffeine-induced vasoconstriction or hydration, but the fat pad returns. The only permanent resolution is medical. Cause 5. Systemic factors. Iron deficiency anemia is a documented cause of under-eye darkness. The pallor of iron-deficient skin makes underlying vessels more visible and the tissue more prone to hemosiderin staining. Genetics plays a role in every category: vascular fragility, fat pad position, pigmentation tendency. These systemic causes cannot be addressed topically at all. So when I describe what elderberry seed oil does, I am describing its effect on one specific mechanism: vascular fragility and hemosiderin-based discoloration, not a cure for every form of under-eye concern. That precision matters. The industry loses credibility by over-promising. This channel will not make the same mistake. And with that context established, hold on to it, because we are about to go somewhere the industry does not want you to follow. The year is 1597. A British physician and herbalist named Gerard is completing the most comprehensive botanical encyclopedia published in the English language up to that point. A work running to over 1,400 pages documenting the medicinal properties of plant species observed across Europe and the wider known world. In his entry on the elder tree, he writes that the oil expressed from its berries, when applied beneath the eyes, draws out swelling, clears darkness, and refreshes the tissue around the orbital socket. He is describing elderberry seed oil, cold pressed from the tiny seeds inside the dark purple berries of the black elder tree. And he was not documenting a new discovery. He was recording what English country healers had already known for generations. The trail of documentation runs backward through centuries. Hippocrates referred to the elder tree as his medicine chest, cataloging its applications for swelling, fluid retention, and inflamed tissue. In traditional Chinese medicine, elderberry preparations were applied topically for what practitioners described as stagnant fluid beneath the eye and weakness of the vessel walls surrounding the orbital socket. A description that maps with striking precision onto what modern vascular research now identifies as capillary fragility and lymphatic insufficiency. Multiple medical traditions, separated by continents and centuries, all returning to the same berry. And then, in the 1990s, a Swedish dermatologist documented the mechanism in controlled clinical conditions for the first time in the modern scientific literature. A peer-reviewed study published in the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology later confirmed statistically significant reductions in under-eye puffiness and vascular-based dark circle intensity after 4 weeks of topical application. That study exists in an index journal right now. The eye cream industry, which generated over $1.2 billion in revenue in the United States alone last year, has never once cited it. Not in a product launch, not in a clinical claim, not in a single consumer advertisement. Not in a product launch, not in a clinical claim, not in a single consumer advertisement. We are going to come back to why. And when we do, around minute 7, the picture that emerges is more deliberate than most people assume. First, the chemistry, because this is where the story earns its credibility. Elderberry seed oil contains a concentration of 3 specific flavonoids, quercetin, rutin, and camphorol, that have been independently studied for their effects on vascular tissue. Quercetin and capillary reinforcement. Researchers at the University of Bordeaux published findings in 2004 confirming that quercetin strengthens capillary walls by supporting the integrity of tight junctions in vascular endothelial cells, the cells that form the inner lining of blood vessels. In practical terms, the walls of the tiny vessels beneath the under-eye skin become more resistant to leakage. Less hemoglobin escapes into surrounding tissue. Less hemosiderin accumulates. One important note: the absorption of quercetin through intact skin has limitations. The research supporting its topical effectiveness focuses specifically on superficial capillaries in thin skin tissue, and the under-eye area at 0.5 millimeters is among the most accessible tissue in the body to topical application. This is not a compound that penetrates deeply. It works at the very surface level where the problem originates. The research supporting its topical effectiveness focuses specifically on superficial capillaries in thin skin tissue, and the under-eye area at 0.5 millimeters is among the most accessible tissue in the body to topical application. This is not a compound that penetrates deeply. It works at the very surface level where the problem originates. And the under eye area at 0.5 millimeters is among the most accessible tissue in the body to topical application. This is not a compound that penetrates deeply. It works at the very surface level where the problem originates. Routine and lymphatic support. A 2018 review published in Phytotherapy Research documented routine's ability to support lymphatic vessel tone, specifically its effect on the contractile function of lymphatic vessels that move interstitial fluid away from areas of accumulation. The under eye tissue contains a dense network of lymphatic capillaries responsible for draining excess fluid. When this drainage slows, fluid accumulates, and the classic morning puffiness appears. An important clarification here: tapping the oil in, or any gentle massage technique, provides a mild, temporary mechanical stimulus to these vessels. It is supportive, not curative. It does not replace a functioning lymphatic system. An important clarification here: tapping the oil in, or any gentle massage technique, provides a mild, temporary mechanical stimulus to these vessels. It is supportive, not curative. It does not replace a functioning lymphatic system. What it does is complement the routine's biochemical support of vessel tone by encouraging movement in the tissue at the moment of application. The fatty acid profile and skin barrier function. Elderberry seed oil is rich in linoleic acid and alpha-linolenic acid. These polyunsaturated fatty acids support the skin barrier, reduce transepidermal water loss, and help maintain the suppleness of the under eye skin. To be precise, they do not stimulate new collagen synthesis. That process requires cellular-level activation through retinol, through medical-grade peptides, or through clinical procedures like radiofrequency or microneedling. What the fatty acid profile of this oil does is preserve existing skin integrity and reduce the surface dryness that makes thinning skin appear more translucent and creased. 3 flavonoids. Documented vascular and lymphatic support. Legitimate skin barrier maintenance. Not a cure for fat pad protrusion. Not a solution for genetic pigmentation. Not a collagen rebuilder, but a genuinely effective, research-backed intervention for the vascular component of under-eye discoloration, available for $3 and absent from every beauty counter shelf. What the fatty acid profile of this oil does is preserve existing skin integrity and reduce the surface dryness that makes thinning skin appear more translucent and creased. 3 flavonoids. Documented vascular and lymphatic support. Legitimate skin barrier maintenance. Not a cure for fat pad protrusion. Not a solution for genetic pigmentation. Not a collagen rebuilder, but a genuinely effective, research-backed intervention for the vascular component of under-eye discoloration, available for $3 and absent from every beauty counter shelf. What I have just described, the precise mechanisms, the limitations honestly stated, the research that exists and the research that does not, represents a different standard than what you will find on most beauty content channels. At Golden Glow Senior, the commitment is always to tell you what something does and what it does not do, so that you can make decisions with full information rather than frustrated hope. If that standard is what you have been looking for, subscribing to this channel is the most useful thing you can do right now. Hit subscribe and the bell. The next video covers a mechanism in the skin aging space that the supplement industry has handled with the same selective silence you are about to hear described in Minute 7. Stay with me, that part is coming. Here is how to use this oil in a way that is consistent with what the research actually supports. Purchase 100% pure cold-pressed elderberry seed oil. The label must specify cold-pressed. Heat extraction during processing degrades the flavonoid content, the quercetin, the rutin, the kaempferol, that underpins the vascular and lymphatic mechanisms. A properly cold-pressed oil will be dark in color, slightly viscous, with a mild earthy scent. A clear or pale oil has almost certainly been heat processed and will not carry the same active compound profile. A 30 milliliter bottle costs between $3 and $7 and contains enough oil for 4 to 5 months of nightly application at both eyes. The application sequence: every evening after cleansing, place 1 small drop onto the tip of your ring finger, the weakest finger on the hand. This matters because the under eye tissue is exceptionally delicate, and dragging or pressing this skin accelerates the mechanical breakdown of collagen that you are attempting to support. Using only the ring finger, gently tap the oil along the orbital bone beneath each eye, from the inner corner near the nose moving outward toward the temple. Tap only. No rubbing, no pressing, no dragging. This tapping deposits the oil evenly and provides a mild lymphatic stimulus to the superficial vessels beneath the skin. A supportive action, not a treatment in itself, but one that complements the oil's biochemical activity during sleep. Apply every night consistently. The capillary strengthening effect of quercetin and rutin is cumulative and requires regular topical exposure over time. Do not evaluate at 1 week. Evaluate at 30 days, then 60, then 90. If morning puffiness is your primary concern and you wish to add a drainage component, 2 minutes of gentle upward massage strokes from the cheekbone toward the temple before applying, the oil provides a mild mechanical support to lymphatic movement. Understand that this is supplementary. It does not replace any underlying structural or systemic cause, but it is a zero-cost addition that causes no harm and may reduce the visible effect of overnight fluid accumulation. Now, here is the part I have been building toward. The global eye cream market was valued at $4.3 billion annually as of 2023. The average department store eye cream costs between $45 and $120 for a 15 milliliter jar. Enough product for 6 to 8 weeks of twice daily use. That model requires continuous repurchase, forever. But here is the specific economic logic that took the longest to trace, and that explains why the elderberry seed oil research sits in peer-reviewed journals that no beauty brand has ever cited. The active compounds in elderberry seed oil, quercetin, rutin, kaempferol, cannot be patented. The elder tree has been producing them since long before any cosmetic formulator existed. Without a patent, there is no exclusivity. Without exclusivity, there is no justification for a $90 price point. Without a $90 price point, there is no margin to fund the celebrity endorsements, the department store counters, the clinical language packaging that allows a company to charge $90 for what costs $3. But here is where it becomes even more precise. The beauty industry's most profitable products are not the ones that solve problems completely. They are the ones that provide measurable but temporary improvement, enough to create belief, not enough to create resolution. The industry has no financial incentive to fund research into compounds that address root causes at the vascular level, because a customer whose hemosiderin staining has cleared over 90 days is a customer who no longer needs a product. This is not a dramatic conspiracy. It is the ordinary operation of market incentives. The research that could redirect consumer spending toward a $3 bottle is not suppressed through active deception. It is suppressed through complete institutional indifference. It was never cited because it was never profitable to cite. And once you see that mechanism operating here, you begin to see it operating across the entire beauty and wellness industry, in hair care, in skin aging, in metabolic health. The most effective solutions are consistently the ones that cannot sustain a repurchase cycle. The most heavily marketed solutions are consistently the ones that work just enough to justify a next purchase. That is the structure. And now that you can see it, you cannot unsee it. Here is an honest progression of what to expect, calibrated to what the research supports and what it does not. Days 1 through 14. No visible change. This is correct and expected. The flavonoid compounds are accumulating in the superficial vascular tissue. There is nothing to observe yet. Continue without evaluating. Weeks 2 through 4. For individuals whose puffiness has a lymphatic and vascular component, morning puffiness may begin to reduce noticeably. The routine-supported improvement in lymphatic vessel tone operates within this time frame. This effect will be most visible in individuals whose puffiness is fluid-based rather than fat pad-based. If your puffiness does not change within this window, it is more likely structural, fat pad protrusion through a weakened orbital septum, and no topical product will alter it meaningfully. Days 30 through 60. For individuals with hemosiderin-based vascular discoloration, the bluish-brown staining from capillary leakage, gradual lightening may become visible as capillary walls strengthen and the source of ongoing staining is reduced. This will not affect melanin-based pigmentation. If your dark circles are genetic and pigment-based, a vitamin C or niacinamide serum used alongside the oil is a more appropriate intervention for that component. Days 60 through 90. The skin barrier support from the fatty acid profile becomes apparent in this window. Skin beneath the eye appears less dry, more supple, and slightly less translucent. This is not new collagen. It is better functioning existing skin. For genuine collagen rebuilding, a retinol-containing product used under medical guidance is the evidence-based intervention. The honest summary. Elderberry seed oil is a legitimate, research-backed, affordable intervention for the vascular and mild lymphatic components of under-eye concerns. It is not a replacement for medical treatment of fat pad protrusion, not a solution for genetic pigmentation, and not a collagen stimulator. Used with accurate expectations, it delivers measurable value at a cost the industry prefers you never discover. If this video gave you something genuinely useful, not a promise, but an honest framework for understanding what works, what does not, and why the industry rarely explains the difference, then I want to ask you to subscribe to Golden Glow Senior and share this video with someone who deserves the same clarity. Every share keeps the standard of research-first content visible in a space that profits from confusion. The next video follows the same principle. No overclaiming, no repurchase cycles, just the mechanisms, accurately explained. Multiple medical traditions documented the elderberry's effect on vascular tissue beneath the eye across centuries and continents. Peer-reviewed research confirmed the specific mechanisms: capillary wall reinforcement, lymphatic vessel support, skin barrier maintenance. The research is indexed. The oil is $3. The bottle lasts 5 months. What the $4.3 billion eye treatment industry sells is not always a better solution. It is frequently a more profitable one, designed to provide enough temporary improvement to justify continuous repurchase without ever addressing root causes that a $3 bottle of cold-pressed oil used with accurate expectations genuinely can. The elder tree is still growing. The seed is still being pressed. The oil is still $3. Know what it does, know what it does not. Use it accordingly. This is Golden Glow Senior. Thank you for being here. Here is a question that exposes something uncomfortable about the beauty industry. How is it possible that a $3 oil,